Hello, everybody. Hello. Welcome, welcome, welcome to yet another Friday session of me, Love Evolve Energy, and the energies that I represent here on Open Hearted Seeing, where we sit here, we relax, and we do some basic. Great, my audio is working. I often like to check my audio. In the energy that's happening during this time, I am a channel for and a vortex for source energy. And with that, I can offer it externally to the world, sometimes through my own filter, but oftentimes there's a reading and seeing involved with that. And hence energy readings, channeled meditations, and energy work as well. So that's the primary offerings. You can see all the links either above or below, depending on what platform you're catching me on today. We're still in 2021, December. And you may see that my website, check the link there, and some of the offerings there, a lot of stuff is shifting, and it will. Of course, we're in time of change into the year of 22. I believe it's the water tiger, the year of the water tiger, which I am so excited about. So we're not even there yet. We're just in the preparation times. I'd like to welcome all the replay watchers, since that is the majority of people who see this, whatever time on the planet you're catching this. The things that come through today are perennial. We'll see what actually happens. I want to say hi to my cricks. Getting messages already to my cricks, and also to everybody that is on intuitive lifestyles, consulting, counseling, etc. Um, I really enjoy that group, and I really appreciate all the effort that is taken to make things happen there. And I'm working in conjunction with them more and more in the new year. So let me just say to begin, if you caught me last week, then you know a little bit about what's going on. Oh, hold on before I go any further. Hi, Crix. Hey, Crix. How you doing? Just wanted to check in and say hi with that. In the new year and before the new year, and you'll see, like many of us do, particularly after the 15th, 16th of this month, we're going into uh, a waning moon cycle and until the new year, which is really exciting. So January is going to be a big poof, a little bit more expansion, but we're really going to be able to let go quite a bit up until uh, the next, I guess it's week or less. Next week is the full moon. The intensity of that will be with us, and that's going to happen differently for not just your primary sun sign, but what the rest of your astrology is, but also where you are on your path. Where are you on your trajectory? So if you're coming to me as a star seed and you're 16 years old, thank you. Thank you for joining me and catching the replay, kids. What? You're going to be in a particular stage in your path, and hopefully there's a lot of years before you. For me, I'm much more than halfway on my trajectory here, depending on some of the decisions I make in the next decade. And so my perspective on everything that I perceive is different because of that as well. And there's a host of other things that play into all of this. So that's what's up today. I was checking in and I had ideas of talking about um, how we face our dragons and befriend them. Also about the Elohim, the Elo lockbox technique. I wanted to. And then as I was moving into meditation and preparation, the lesson that I'm needing to integrate in a deeper way is the lesson of surrender. What I wrote in the comments section here, and you may or may not be able to see that depending on when you're catching this. Something about surrender as a noble task. If you're further along in your meditation practice, and what am I? I don't even know what day I've kind of abandoned talking about my daily meditation practice, my 108-day commitment, but I do want to get back into that. Holidays being what they are, we're moving into this gentle internal period, and really in December, that's most of what I do. If you've been following me for a couple of years, you've noticed that is my period for internal time. And for most of us, right, we are historically in your heritage and all your ancestry, we're in post harvest time, which is feasting time. And so that's so much more of what's happening. So I'm getting a lot of messages here, and I don't want that. We are just beginning my chat today, and so it may be a little bit shorter. We'll see. So that's a whole bunch of jumble. And as you can see, my Piscean mind is on everything at once. And so bit by bit, I make the effort to speak in linear terms, past, present, future, structured sentences and paragraphs, et cetera, as a chat must go. Know that an Aquarian mind has a similar way of being. I have a friend who's has a lot of Pisces and Aquarius energy in her system, and so you can only imagine. What I'm wanting to share is as you move into a conversation with a Piscean mind, there are things that will necessarily be left out. Every nuanced detail is not practical to share. It may or may not be helpful. A longer conversation, all the nuanced details will emerge and flesh out the totality of what is perceived with a Piscean mind and Piscean mindset. I think we have some Jupiter and Pisces conversations happening in our astrology these days, and so you can only imagine. Uh, but just know that certain things will come forward, certain things will be said, certain things will not. So that's my intro to what's happening here uh, of the slowing down time, and to really lean into as much as possible the resounding yes, the yeses of my life. Now's the time to do that for all of us. So, thanks again, Crix, for showing up. It's going to be a little bit more of us now. Is when I take a tiny little break so people can situate, show up, and just figure out if you want to stay in and on the live. Really, I've been doing these once a week and it feels like too little, right? Like there's not the momentum that there used to be. So it's just a 60-second, just a minute break where we recombobulate a little, and I'll change some of my imaging too. Uh, and then we'll just see how that is. So where's my 60-second? I think it's right there. Okay, so I'll see you in 60 seconds. When I come back, I'll see as I tap in. It's going to be a little bit of a meditative alignment, but it will come into some channeled readings and some card pulls for the collective. And then if individuals are here, we'll do a little bit more of that. The theme emerging is the effortlessness around surrender, although the first moments of a commitment to surrender take some effort of letting go. Therein is the rub. All right, so let's take a little break. I'll have a little bit more tea. Yeah, yeah. And it's actually chai with a lot of adaptogens. And then we'll move into some other things. All right, I'll see you in a sec. Hi, and we are back. Uh, what ended up happening was how spirit communicates through me is my visual is drawn to something when my eyes are open and again when my eyes are closed. And there's a lot of emphasis on the purples. And I didn't even realize that. I have two shelves of cards. So what is that? 24 decks? I don't know. And quite a few of them are purplish in nature. So I'm going to show you three decks that I work with. Now, how do I work with cards? Let's talk about that in the surrendered state. Cards in the surrendered state. So cards are a tool for any intuitive, whether, and I'm speaking of that in a very broad sense, whether you're medium or energy worker or simply having conversation with your guardian angel or your higher self or some other guides that you work for. Cards are for the part of the neocortex that is uh, the linear left brain thinking that likes to organize and needs to know, um, create structured language. Cards, so this is, just so you know, this is my opinion. And at this moment in my time space, this I believe this to be true. Cards and using oracle cards or tarot. Do I have any tarots out? No. No, I only have oracles. How interesting. Um, I am studying with Chris Reck, who is a tarot card reader, and he started with playing cards, a deck of playing cards. You can use whatever divination you like. What it does is begin opening a door of connection through starting with that part of the brain, the left brain, that needs more scientific, logical, etc. And granted, they are oracle cards. And so already there's a belief step, a leap you have to take, and a what if. What if these are true? If there's a part of you that already has a belief structure that will say, yeah, other things outside of this structured sciency, even if you're working within structured sciency, like another one of my teachers, Barbara Brennan School of Healing, I think is Academy, I think is what it's called, down in Florida, is the main base where she is, I believe, I'm not sure. Very sciencey, very structured, and talking about the energy medicine. of your energetic body anatomies. Here's the point. The decks open the door. They open a door to more esoteric conversations. Eventually, this door can become a crutch if you overly rely on Beyond Lemuria. Beautiful deck. One of my favorites. Lumen. Threads of Fate, Lumen Edition. I love this deck. And sweet ass domination deck. One of my friends, Alyssa, Health Free and Prismatic Heart Intuition, uses the sweet ass domination deck as well. She and I will be collaborating in the near future. We already do in so many ways. She's such a support. So cards, not a bad thing. Not a bad thing. And so, in fact, some people, and if you're one of the platforms that you will be seeing this on, some people are exclusive to cards. They keep that door open through the cards. Other things begin to be pulled through, other intuitive messages. Cards are about messages and pointing technique that point you to an energy, a message, a truth. I love them. They're super playful. If you give your power over to the cards, they become a crutch where if there's a refusal or a need for more faith and trust in your own divinity, in your own spark, in your own capacity to connect through source energy and others' energies, you may give your power over to the crutch, to the card. In truth, these aren't necessary to give a full on intuitive energy scan or reading for most people. However, they are fun and they do open a doorway and they do help people that are on in the receiving seat, in the receiving position, receive a message. So that person may not trust themselves and they may not trust the reader, perhaps, but they may trust a deck of cards. This Beyond Lemuria really goes with. This is very much for starseeds, Beyond Lemuria. Very much for starseed deck. I did an energy session with a starseed. And unbeknownst to me, I hadn't worked with a true purebred starseed before, and this was an energy session for a pure starseed. And let me tell you, the energy system of a starseed is very different. You energy workers out there know what I'm talking about. It's very different. It's very different. Another one of my friends that you will meet when the podcast Life of Pi Sees comes out in the new year, you'll meet some of my two starseed friends. Their energy systems are very, very different. Anyway, that's my belief about the decks, that they are a tool to open the lines of communication between source and high vibration energies, and that aspect, the personality aspect, the middle management in so many ways that believes it has control of your life when really it's just a small part. Your core star and heart center has so much more sway and say in the direction of your path along this planet. So let's work with cards today. They're so much fun. They're like puzzle pieces, if you've ever noticed a full on card reading, which I don't really do these days. So I may incorporate that more fully because it's so much fun. Spreading out a full on card reading where you have between 7, 9 to 20 to 30 cards spread out. It's like a puzzle, and you have all these puzzle pieces spread out, and you begin to put the puzzle together bit by bit using your intuitive energy. So let me just say, if you're seeing me on ILC, ILC TV, Intuitive TV right now, hi. Uh, there are a lot of card readers there, and they'll have their own opinions and their own understandings of how they use cards and the importance of the cards. It really is a way to relax. If you're the reader, it's a way to relax a little bit and surrender. Since we are talking about the noble task of surrender, to surrender a little bit more deeply. All right, we're going to pull the roses. Ooh, this was upside down. Um, what was that song back in the 80s? We Are the World. Was that a song? That's this card here. So that's the first one for the group. I think there might be others from the sweet ass domination deck. So the cards allow us as readers who have a whole cadre of decks. Oh gosh, so gorgeous. Look at that. Shiny, 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 shiny bumblebee. Soul work. Ooh, dude. That might be the most gorgeous card I have ever seen. But I do want to shuffle some more of these. So this is going to be full on reading on surrender. Reading on surrender. Cards allow the reader, the offerer. I'm in the seat of readership right now to surrender perhaps more deeply and to listen. You, as the reader, and I know there are a lot of intuitive readers that will join me, you decide. You have agency. So you decide what way you would like to communicate with spirit. If you choose cards or trinkets or jewels or something else that you want to read with, here's the tiniest card deck I have. It's an I Ching card deck, and it's this big, super tiny cards. I love it. Oh, wait a minute. I may have lied. My runes are smaller. My packet, my little pouch of runes are smaller. Wow. This is the few. This is from another deck. And this popped out. Withdraw. With the coziness of the fox in her den. Is there anything else here? Maybe, but we're going to move on to the other deck. So as a tool that you decide what has meaning for you as the reader. They're simply tools. Do you need them? I don't know. I don't know. If you give your power away to them, not that anybody here, certainly on Intuitive TV, they're all empowered readings here. So for those of you on Intuitive TV, thanks for Ashley for the invitation and her sister Christine. Thank you guys. Wiccan based badasses, love it. I gotta have them on my podcast for shizzle. Uh, they use their tools in a particular way, and for real, the path of empowerment is a longer path. Ooh, I'm feeling a hurry up energy. All right, so I'm also smelling breakfast. Okay, but that's not in my house. I don't believe that waffles are cooking here. Although I do have to say I'm in the time where I'm watching a lot of Hallmark movies while I'm baking cookies. I love the hominess of that. It's a whole lot of. Is there any there's a lot of good feels in that. So, are there any messages that need to come through here? There's somebody that does. All right. Right away. This is the only card that points at this in this entire deck. Starseed Elemental. Oh, wow. All right. Well, thank you for that. So, those are the puzzle pieces that I'm taking out, those cards that mentioned so far. What's happening here? Ah, freedom. Okay. We might need these. Let's see. Oh. All right. I'm just organizing the pieces of my puzzle here to give a fuller general reading here. So let's see. Where are the books that I need? Here and here and here. It's interesting, with cards. Sometimes there's a memorization, and cards come up again and again and again, and so we begin to learn what they are and where they are. That's not true for me for this particular deck, and so I'm going to have to hunt just a little bit. Um, but I do know that some of these cards are towards the back because I remember um, how they move. Each card deck has its own way of talking about and connecting you. Ultimately, it's a tool, if you are the receiver, connecting you to what needs to happen in your life for you. And if there are, it puts emphasis on any energies that you might need to hear that perhaps you aren't listening to at the moment. And what I love about this particular deck, I wonder if these are all at the beginning. It might take me a minute. Uh, Here we go. To move into some of these more deeply. Apologies for that. There'll be a little bit of silence as I move into this from the ether. Huh. Wow, maybe I'm not meant to find these right away. Ah, there we go. There's a soul work. That's one of them. But I also need a withdraw. And that may or may not be, but I think that within these are divided up into elements. All right, so we have both of those, and I'll read both of those in a minute. I want to pick things up and the pace up just a little bit. The first card that came through for this general reading is I'm as powerful as the world because I am the world. So let's look at that. And you may choose to gaze upon that as you listen to my words here. And really, what happens with this particular deck is a lot of it is on the back. Look at those roses. Rage, create. Rage and create. You are one energy with the world. And the experience of life is but a pulse in an infinite, magical voyage. There's no difference of energy between your life, the life of a bee, The experience of an angel. All right, we've got some emphasis here because there's the B on our other card pull. So just begin to feel into that. You'll have your own resonances already. There's also no difference between the workout moves of Richard Simmons. That's the funny part. So let's read that again. There's no difference between the energy between your life, the life of a bee, the experience of an angel, or the workout moves of Richard Simmons. We are all the same on a certain level, experiencing life through a perception turned on for a period of time and off for a period of time. A wave rises and breaks. A flower blooms and decays. All life is an energy rising together and fading together. Try not to trap your energy on desires of the self. Instead, use it for the highest good of all. Do we got that? Do we got that? Do we got that? Ebb and flow, in and out. Let's automatically move to the soul work. Where's my lunettes? I have these gorgeous new glasses. Um, and I took them off so I could work with this mic a little bit. You know what? I'm just going to have to move to some others because this reading is really, really gorgeous. Got my Harry Potters on right now. So let's look. Let's gaze upon, and I'll do a little bit of this while I do it so you can just see the vibration and have that vibration. Sometimes while we are navigating our day-to-day life, we can lose sight of our highest purpose within the earthly realm. This card asks you to once again check in with your soul purpose. It is not possible to be derailed from your soul path, no matter where you are. But clarity does help us show up for it in a more intentional way. Sit with these questions a bit. What are you here to teach? What are you here to learn? What stirs in your heart? Spend some time reflecting upon your soul mission and how you can integrate it into your life. The bee is centered on one mission to nurture this colony in love. Aspen tree is unique because it grows in connection of its roots. Diamond are not created from coal, but they are created from the earth's depths and are produced by the intense heat of volcanoes and cosmic collisions. Our soul work often appears to us in the same way. It is unearthed over time, born from experiences of fire. From your experiences, what message has connected them all? What diamond of wisdom has revealed itself to you? Call on diamond as an ally of transformation in the alchemical process of making your soul's work manifest. Okay, we're getting a theme here. We're getting soul purpose. We're getting meaningfulness. We're getting connection on different layers, levels. What's really interesting is we have this turning in. When this card arrives, and look at this gorgeous, it's reflective of the winter season, which we are in, a time of stillness, collecting our resources and deaths. It calls of a retreat of sorts, while our cultural values, productivity, doing, acting, pushing forward, Spirit is asking you to take a break and to relax. Dare I say, noble surrender. Go within, find stillness, gather strength for the next. This is very a theme of the rest of this month, everybody. We often find the solutions we need when we step away from what we're doing and allow ourselves to unfold. Well, foxes are solitary creatures that hunt alone and then retreat each day to their den or their hollow. Call upon fox. If you struggle with the feeling at ease in your own company, so this is really hearkening you to, it also is so much energy of coming in and connection. So not just with the oneness, connection of the earth, but within you and you connecting within. What's so interesting is the star seed elemental also appears for us. So let's look at that, and then we're going to make the picture come back together. So this, as a general message, look at the back of these cards. Gorgeous, yes. Gorgeous, yes. It brings a sense of play or lightness or spontaneity to your life. Be inspired by your inner child. Inquisitiveness, curiosity, fun, and laughter. Spend time with this inner child and the delight in the world. Spending time with kids will help you experience the world from a fresh perspective and see them as inspiring teachers that they are. So that so as we move within, so let's look at these. Let's look at these all together. Something like that. Look at all those purples. I really like, often a bee is an industrious energy, but not an empty industry. It is a part of the hive. It is a part of the whole and does its work with joyousness and connectivity and the sense of that. So it needs this inner resonance, and a surrender emanates outwards at the same time. So the connectivity of surrender is mirrored within your inner connectivity and surrender. That's what those cards say to me. All right. Thank you, everybody. We're going to wrap it up here. Thank you for joining Crix. Did you need to hear that? Crix, you already have a sense of play about your energy. And so it is. And so it is. All right. I'm going to peace out, everybody. So much joy to you. I will see you here at some point next week. We'll see how it moves. Fat- Fatsimo Moguera, hi there. Nice to see you. I'm about to end the session. Yeah, let's see if I'll pull one more for you because I'm already at the tail end here, lady. Nature. Look at the gorgeousness, and we're seeing nature in terms of ocean. And we're seeing the card for you. A lot of the theme of today is connection. There's a particular connection when we go with the all seeing divine I am. the I am. So Fatsimo. Oh, I love this name. Water element. But that moves into the Elohim and the elementals and the divine emanation of a flow, intensity. Water can bring up the seeing of what we may see as an angry ocean is actually very intense upheaval. So you have a choice about how you deal with that energy, Fatsimo. Does that make sense to you, Mama? That's the card I have for you. You're my last card. You're my first. Well, you're not my first, but you're my last. And we're gonna wrap it up there for today. Beautiful card to end on. I want to see. I want to see if there's something else there for you. I, I'm not sure. It's there may be something else. So give me a second just to see. At the beginning, after this is over, you might reverse back to what the cards do for us. They really just connect us and they open a doorway into something within ourselves. It's important not to overly rely on cards, to simply use them as a doorway and then to simply walk through the doorway on our own. I think that's all that needs to be said. All right, peace to you. I'll see you all here next week. We'll see. It will be posted here when we see a regular. So thanks for joining me on The Book That Is Face. Thank you for joining me on Intuitive TV. Thank you for joining me on the tube that is you. So much love. Stay true to your own heart. Feel that connection, even when the waters are rough. Take a time out in the bathroom again and again and again. Pretty soon, we're heading into our fox's den where it's going to be so much easier to withdraw and focus on what is necessary into the fox's hollow. All right, so much love to all of you. Thank you for joining me, and I'll catch you on the flip. There's other stuff that's happening in the new year, uh, and that will be announced. Hold on. Sorry about that. We'll go into to just to some of that in just a little while. I want to find my thank you thing. I think that's here we go. All right. I'll see you next week. Love yourself. Love yourself.